dozen eggs, 2 dozen eggs, a bag of rice, a sack of rice, cereal, bread, anti-aircraft gun.
Sorry, that seat's taken.
Oh, by the Invisible Man.
He'll do.
But he's very quiet, isn't he? Which is surprising in a way, since you've just tossed a hardback right between his legs.
Oh, don't be frightened, Henry. I'll look after you.
Actually, I've got cramp.
Cramp?
Got on my thigh.
Oh, the number of men who must have said that.
I can manage. Thank you.
Monica, is there any danger of you helping me out with the washing up?
Oh, I'm watching the telly, Mom.
Not for long, I hope, or I may have to put you up for adoption.
Yeah, I just hope whoever adopts me gives me a bit of peace when I'm watching the telly.
I'll help.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Tomorrow's Friday. You know what that means?
Of course. Means today's Thursday.
How would you like a face as soft as your hands?
So tomorrow's Friday, so what?
So, it's very nearly the weekend. You promised me by the weekend you'd have a career.
I know, Mrs. Haddon, but I haven't managed to lay my hands on one yet.
Well, it's all right. I understand that, Chris, but a certain Commander Richard Beamish may not. And as guarantor of my bank loan, he's going to be frothing at the main brace and very probably ready to tar and feather you.
I'd look a bit daft at the job centre.
Oh, you... It's all right, Monica. I'll get it. Hello?
Evening, Sheila.
Hello, Richard.
I see you put your ad in at the newsagents for freelance typing.
Yes. Well, I put 2 in, actually. 1 for freelance typing and 1 for Japanese massage.
Had any replies yet?
Well, none for the Japanese massage, but literally heaps for the typing.
Literally how many?
Literally none. And wipe that smug look off your face.
What was it I said? If you got one single reply, I'd eat my hat.
Yes, fine. I'm going to buy you a pith helmet. How's your writer's block?
Still solid. But you know, I told you I'm quite willing to keep on paying you till I give you my next chapter.
No, Richard, sorry. I'm not a parasite.
But you've got one in your basement. Has that layabout found a job yet?
Not exactly.
We'll boot him back to Halifax.
Well, that's not very fair. He comes from Huddersfield.
Right. I'll be round for breakfast in the morning, and when I get hold of him...
Well, I suppose you could do that, Richard, but it would give him ever such a high-pitched voice.
I don't like people threatening me behind my back.
Well, hang on till breakfast. He'll threaten you to your face.
Hello?
Shh. Is that one of your lot?
Probably.
Would you mind having a word with your pilots to keep the noise down? Just tell them there are people trying to live down here.
Well, look on the bright side, Mrs. Haddon. Those planes are full of tourists bringing much-needed foreign currency to these shores.
Well, I just wish they'd stay at home and send a cheque.
Well, if it's any consolation, London gets its own back when they try the food.
Oh, yes, my feelings exactly.
Can't we just leave it till the morning?
Well, you said that last night. We did. This is it.
You know, it's a great shame that paper saucepans were never invented. That way we could just throw everything away.
But, darling, that would involve you in a strenuous trek to the waste bin.
I'm not afraid of exercise.
Look, I think we could actually do without plates altogether. I mean, I could just pour the supper straight onto the table. You lot could all lick it off with your tongues. Then all we'd have to do at the end of the meal is hose each other down.
I think she reckons that's a pretty good idea.
Yes.
Spot of grease.
Takes one to know one.
Listen, I hate to add to your colossal workload, Monica, but I'm going to be out most of tomorrow job hunting, so you'll have to make dinner for everyone.
I'm too young to die, Mrs. Haddon.
No, you're not.
Listen, she's not that bad, really. Her bangers and mash are quite edible-ish.
I can't wait. I mean, it's no secret I've been after your bangers since the day I moved in.
Hey, can we just give them bread and water and maybe throw in a bit of mouldy cheese for the rat?
This may be the moment.
Eh?
I'll cook tomorrow. I'll give you a taste of what lies in store for the discerning palates of those who will one day crowd the tables at my Scottish restaurant back in a trice.
He seems keen.
Is this a good idea, Mrs. Haddon? Letting that mad Scotsman loose on our stomachs?
What exactly is a trice?
Ah, a trice. Well, it's like a tick, only 3 times as long. Or half a tick 6 times as long. I mean, well, no. Take, for instance...
You know everything, Henry.
My menu. very much a rough draft, but in the not-too-distant future, people will feast their eyes on the final version.
Highland Hotchpotch. Socky Hall stew. Now, that sounds yummy. Grouse à l'orange. Oh, that's different, yes. Hogmanay haggis. Well, that's very festive. And Crappit hides. Dare I ask what Crappit hides are?
Something you trod in?
Crappit heeds involve oatmeal, haddock heads, and haddock livers.
Sounds even worse than my first guess.
And for dessert, mousse McAlpine and Edinburgh tart.
Oh, the last one sounds right up your street.
Well, what do you think, eh?
Doesn't seem to be a big rush to book a table, does there?
I think it sounds delicious, but I run my evening meals on a very tight budget, Hamish. What about Highland Hotchpotch? That sounds relatively cheap. Or does it involve shipping a side of venison down from a distant glen?
Well, funnily enough, I invented Highland Hotchpotch as a suitable dish for relatively impoverished diners.
You just described us. What do we need?
Now, let's see. Neck of mutton, onions, carrots, turnips.
I hate turnips.
Oh, I love turnips.
So do I. Turnips. Cauliflower, oatmeal.
I hate oatmeal.
I love oatmeal.
So do I. Oatmeal. Now, is there anything else we'll need?
Yeah, Alka-Seltzer.
I love Alka-Seltzer.
Morning, Mrs. Haddon.
Oh, hello, Hamish. Now, this should cover the ingredients for your Highland Hotchpotch, to which we're all looking forward. I hope it's enough. In fact, I insist it's enough.
That'll be a tight squeeze, Mrs. Haddon, but us master chefs are very resourceful.
Is Chris up yet?
Shaving as I left. He may have finished by now, in which case you'll probably be busy embracing the mirror.
He didn't happen to mention whether he'd got a career plan, did he?
No, why?
This is why. No, Chris hasn't come out of the basement yet, and yes, it is a lovely morning, isn't it, Richard?
Ah, sorry. Good morning, Sheila. Bridge to engine room. All hands on deck.
You're not armed, are you, Richard?
Always peckish at the prospect of combat. So, what's for breakfast?
Absolutely anything you like, as long as it's toast and marmalade.
Oh, you really shouldn't spoil me so.
I've got rhythm. I've got rhythm.
Well,
Not too bad, thanks. How's yourself?
I should tread warily, Chris. This man is a coiled spring. Now, look, he hasn't actually got his career plan together yet. Have you, love?
Yes.
So it's no use shout, pardon?
Yes, I have. Well, I'm glad that's all sorted out. Can you pass the milk? Anything interesting in the paper this morning?
just a minute. Just a minute.
Eh?
A few details, chummy, if you please.
Details. Oh, well, it came to me as I was shaving. I was just looking in the mirror.
Before you proceed any further, I'm only interested in a career plan that's contained within the boundaries of reality. I say this because it is common knowledge that your overriding priorities are pestering women and blow-drying your hair.
Listen, Richard, let him get on with it.
All right. I just wanted him to know in advance there are no vacancies for gigolos in Chiswick.
Go on, Chris. You were looking in the mirror and...
And who should I see but this really tasty-looking guy
Hamish.
with a first-class honours degree in charisma
Hamish.
and a glittering career ahead of him as a world-class model.
You're going to be a male model.
Well, he's not really cut out to be a female one, Henry.
I know what you're thinking.
In that case, perhaps he'll be good enough to pass me a blunt instrument.
You're thinking, will this pay the rent?
No, that's what I'm thinking.
You know, I hate to say this, Mum, but I think he could be a model.
Well, thank
I mean,
you,
he's
Monica.
dumb enough, isn't he?
Yes, well, time I started making the rounds. I can't understand why no one ever thought of this before.
Richard, will you be joining us for our Scottish supper tonight?
I'm cooking, and I promise nothing less than a magical experience.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Richard, have you by any chance brought your hat with you?
Yes, why?
Dear Sir or Madam, I have narrated my latest novel, Frozen Dreams, onto the enclosed cassettes. I would be grateful for a typed transcription. 2 copies, please. I enclose a cheque for £100 as a down payment on your fee. Yours faithfully, Millicent Bates.
Nice one, Mike.
Yes.
All right. All right, so I was wrong. I trust you'll be magnanimous in victory.
Richard, I'm not one to gloat. Na, 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 na.
Yes, well, it's time I was off to the zoo. I want to study a tiger at close quarters.
Is this research for your blockbuster?
Yes, hopefully Grip Lomax will be grappling with a tiger. Chapter 6.
Why?
Well, presumably so he's got an excuse to grapple with the newborn nurse in Chapter 7.
I never thought of that. I like it. Well done. Oh, and while I'm at the zoo, I'll see if they haven't got room for a male model in the monkey house.
A slight sound awoke Angelica from her fitful sleep. She saw a shadowy figure framed in the doorway.
I've been framed, said the shadowy figure in the doorway.
Angelica felt a rising tide of terror, but quenched her desire to scream at the sinister silhouette.
Call for the hall porter, love. I am the old porter, love.
Perhaps the intruder would depart, but what if he didn't?
Bop him with your bed socks, dear.
Angelica lay perfectly still. The soft lines of her exquisite cheekbones, framed by the auburn curls that lay upon a pillow, still sodden tears.
Sodden pillow, she cried, hurling it to the floor.
As the intruder advanced further into the room, his shadow fell across her.
Ouch, she cried.
Angelica could pretend no more. She gave a startled cry, only to be instantly muffled by a firm and manly hand.
Listen,
Afraid, ma chérie, c'est moi, Pierre. And the flame of passion that she feared had been extinguished on the slopes of Zermatt was suddenly relit as her loins began to cool.
That Millicent Bates is a bit of a goer, isn't she?
Is Pierre, by any chance, a bronze ski instructor?
There's none bronzer.
And am I right in thinking that our eyes first met over a glass of Glühwein in a jacuzzi?
Bang on.
And am I further right in thinking that Angelica is on the run from a finishing school in San Moritz?
Well, she had no choice after the gardener groped her in the Edelweiss. Are you psychic, Hamish, or are you in fact Millicent Bates?
Hardly.
Well, how do you know all this?
International airports are littered with this romantic trash, Mrs. Haddon. And I'm ashamed to say I've read literally dozens of them. I mean, you've got to do something between pointing out the 3 exits and serving up the plastic dinners.
Yes, but are you saying that Frozen Dreams is a published book?
Aye, but it's not a patch on desire among the dunes.
Yes, but why would Millicent Bates want me to type out a published book?
Good question.
Isn't it just? I think I may know the answer. Hamish, this is our little secret.
Where are you going?
I'm going to pay one sweet old-fashioned raver a little visit.
And the flame of passion that she feared had been extinguished on the slopes of Zermatt was suddenly relit as her loins began
Hamish. Hodgepodge. Is Frozen Dreams your first book, Millie?
Yes.
And you just dictated it from a handwritten draft, did you?
Yes.
I wonder, would it be possible for me to have a tiny peek at the handwritten draft?
Oh, I didn't actually bother with a handwritten draft. I just sort of thought it all up on the spot and spoke it into the recorder like he told me to. Oh.
Millie, are you absolutely sure that Frozen Dreams is all your own work? I mean, really, really sure? Because I was just wondering if perhaps there was the tiniest little possibility that you might have been put up to it by a certain ex-naval gentleman with a shiny head.
I'm a pensioner, love, and he was very generous.
I don't blame you, Millie.
But I must admit I rather enjoyed reading it. Especially that bit in the abandoned chalet where they had to thaw out the waterbed.
It was a bit far-fetched.
Oh, no, not in my experience.
Oh, I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland a-free. But me and my true love will never meet a...
Is it absolutely compulsory to have the Highland hotchpotch, Mrs. Haddon? Do you think Hamish would mind awfully if I just had an omelette instead?
I think he'd make an omelette out of you.
Oh. Well, what if we don't like it?
I'm sure you'll come to our rescue, Henry.
How do you mean?
Well, you're a medical man. Presumably you have access to a stomach pump.
It's all right, Monica. I'll get it.
Oh, hey, the new, etc., etc.
Well, if it isn't Bonnie Prince Charlie, the young pretender.
You've never seen me like this before, have you?
No, but then you're full of surprises, aren't you, Richard?
Well, what do you think?
Well, all things considered, I think you deserve a hearty slap on the sporran.
Oh,
That's the spirit.
my mother is a MacKillop, Hamish. I wear the tartan with pride.
How is your tiger?
Well, you know, sort of, stripy. One word about my legs, chummy, could well be your last.
Do you have a cat, Mrs. Haddon?
Not that I know of.
Must be the turnips.
How'd you get on today?
Oh, I am on my way, Mrs. Haddon. I am on my way.
Splendid. I'll give you a lift to the station.
I'm on my way to the top.
You've been taken on by a model agency.
They're very dynamic. One of their clients did a dandruff commercial last week.
Oh, that's some sort of pinnacle, is it?
Lassies and laddies, please take your seats. Dinner is served.
Oh, Hamish, this is beautiful. This table hasn't looked like this since... Well, let's face it, this table's never looked like this. Of course, it was in Habitat's window.
Damn, I clean forgot to bring a bottle.
No problem. I've already got about 50, courtesy of Anglia Airways.
Great. Because, you know, after spending all day typing out that original one-off manuscript, I've got a real thirst.
Do you find it a promising novel?
Well, it doesn't pretend to be Jane Austen.
Yes, I agree. Hamish played me a bit.
In fact, all it really pretends to be is Millicent Bates.
Mind if I dim the lights a wee bit? The ambience I strive for is best achieved with candles.
Can't we eat in the dark? Because this looks as bad as it smells.
Oh, Hamish, this is really good.
You sound surprised.
This is great. I mean, we are talking seriously scrumptious
This
here.
is absolutely first-rate, Hamish.
To think you prefer an omelette.
You prefer an omelette?
I admit I had reservations, but I was wrong. Very wrong. It's really quite excellent.
Uh-huh. Well, it's the X factor that elevates it to an art form.
The X Factor?
Culinary jargon for an OXO cube.
I'm afraid Chris is a bit of a peasant food-wise. And indeed every-wise.
I think you're just prejudiced against Scottish cooking.
Not true. My favourite dish happens to be Scots.
And what's that?
A Big Mac.
I should just ignore him, Hamish. Or better still, disembowel him.
This could be the moment for another photo. I owe posterity a record of this Epicurean triumph.
Will my hair do?
Will it do what?
Please act naturally. I'll select my moments.
You heard what the man said. Richard, act naturally. So do something devious.
Eh?
Nothing.
Hamish, my modelling agency insists I get some photos together fairly sharpish.
So?
Well, in an ideal world, I'd offer David Bailey the job, but I can't help feeling your estimate might be more competitive.
You reckon?
Are you a good photographer?
My photography is every bit as good as my cooking, so I'm afraid there's no chance of any photographs till you've done full justice to my Highland hodgepodge.
Magic. A real taste of heaven situation.
Well, it gives me great pleasure to give you a second helping. Smile.
Not now.
I hope that's colour film, Hamish, because I think we'll agree that Chris's skin has a very interesting green quality. He could do a frozen pea commercial.
Something the matter, Sheila?
No, why should anything be the matter? Tricky Dicky.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
I went to see Millicent Bates today. Need I say more?
I see. Grassed on by a granny.
Shall we step outside? I'd hate to see your blood on my liner. How dare you try to push money in my direction like that?
Now, what is wrong with a bit of harmless generosity?
Harmless generosity? Have you any idea how it made me feel?
Well, I know storm signals when I see them, and I'm just beginning to understand why they name hurricanes after women.
Richard, I know you're very comfortably off, and I'm only too aware that I'm perched on the edge of a financial razor blade, which makes me very uncomfortably off. But I do not want handouts.
But my motives were impeccable, Sheila. You must believe that. I love you. I love you, for God's sake. Can't bear to see you lurch from one financial crisis to the next.
I may lurch, but I lurch with my head held high.
Well, then you'll get a stiff neck. Shall we dance?
No, yes.
Am I forgiven?
Do you admit that you were a patronising and presumptuous prune?
Patronising? Possibly. Presumptuous? Perhaps. A prune? Never. I mean, do I look all shriveled and wrinkled?
Have you seen your knees lately? He's a nice man, Ben. I mean, deep down inside, he's really very nice. I wish I knew what you'd think of him. Fine. No, that's all I need to know. No, fine.